Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. So this getup, I dressed up for my Instagram. I'm not gonna explain any further. Anyway, so today we're gonna be talking about Doja Cat, and I guess it's actually very fitting that I come here looking nothing like myself since that's kind of what she's been doing lately. Let's talk about Doja Cat. Now, there are a couple of things that I want to discuss because I am starting to get annoyed, and I don't know about you guys, but if you've been following Doja Cat at all recently, I feel like it's a constant stream of heavy-handed, quote-unquote metaphors. I think calling them metaphors is a bit complimentary, but let's say they're metaphors. A lot. Too much, in my opinion. Now, am I incensed? Have I lost sleep? Am I super angry about it? No, I just think it's annoying at this point. To be very clear, to put my bias in perspective, I have liked Doja Cat's music basically until now, until she's entered whatever era we're calling this, the esoteric era perhaps. So until now, I've enjoyed her music. I found it lighthearted and fun. And when I say lighthearted and fun, that's not belittling for me. I spend a lot of my days reading really dense texts for school, so when I have the opportunity of listening to a song that's just fun, it is what it is, I can take it at face value, I like that. Especially if the sound is fun, I'm down for that. So it's not to say that because it's lighthearted and fun, it has no value. Let me just be very clear. The same way that just because a song is a hit or a chart topper, it doesn't mean that I think it sucks automatically because everyone likes it or it's mainstream. No. That is the perceived attitude a lot of people have of Doja Cat right now. That she's consistently just over-intellectualizing things, which she is, and then she's explaining them to us like we're morons, but also simultaneously being mad that we don't get it, or like that we don't get it in the sense of we don't necessarily support whatever song X is about. So anyway, let me just read a summary of what's been going on with Doja Cat in case you don't know, and then we'll get into my commentary. I was gonna say me screaming, but I'm not even that mad about it. It's more just like sighing. After feuding with fans all summer, Doja Cat says shedding fans online has felt like defeating a large beast. She spoke with Harper's Bazaar ahead of September 2023 Icons issue, in which the attention artist is spotlighted. And after a long and salty summer, the star says she doesn't feel like an icon. I think I deserve love and respect from the people that I love and respect back, and I guess respect means different things to some people, the 27-year-old singer and rapper born Amalad Lamani told the outlet. But she also doesn't think she's worthy of veneration. I put myself out there on social media and TV, she said. I love positive feedback. I appreciate when people speak up for someone who is getting bullied or attacked by internet trolls. Some of the most moving moments for me have been when my fans have stood up for me or other people. The revelation comes not long after the hip-hop artist was scrutinized for another public interaction with fans that some might consider prickly. After she was spotted in numerous PDA-filled outings with rumored boyfriend Jay Cyrus, an embattled Twitch influencer and comedian accused of emotionally abusing his Twitch community, fans voiced their disdain for the pairing and called on Doja Cat to address the controversy. She wasn't having it. I don't give a fuck what you think about my personal life. I never have and I never will give a fuck. What you think about me or my personal life, goodbye, and good riddance, miserable hoes, haha. Shortly after, she disparaged the kittens, her hardcore fan base, writing on threads, if you call yourself a kitten or fuck kittens, that means you need to get off your phone and get a job and help your parents with the house. Doja Cat then went on to defend her decree by posting my life, my rules, my style, my attitude, and she shot down one fan account's request to say that she loved her fans, writing, I don't though, cause I don't even know y'all. She further called some of her fans creepy. The Like That singer has since deactivated her Threads account, and she has shed more than 500,000 Instagram followers since the feuds with her fan base this summer. But when talking with Harper's Bazaar, the artist offered some insights as to why she thinks fans respond to her quote-unquote pushing boundaries, a la shaved eyebrows and shaved head, in such impassioned ways. My theory is that if someone has never met me in real life, then subconsciously I'm not real to them, she said. So when people become engaged with someone they don't know on the internet, they kind of take ownership over that person. They think that person belongs to them in some sense, and when that person changes drastically, there is a shock response that is almost uncontrollable. I've accepted that's what happens, so I put on my wigs and take them off. I shave my head or my eyebrows. I have all the freedom in the world. On Wednesday, Doja Cat addressed losing more than 500,000 Instagram fans, posting a story that read, seeing all these people unfollow me makes me feel like I've defeated a large beast that's been holding me down for so long, and it feels like I can reconnect with the people who really matter and love me for who I am and not for who I was. I feel free. So first of all, I think we can all agree that the most important thing, just look at me looking like a suburban housewife in a monochromatic pink world, I guess. First of all, I think we can all agree that if she feels free, that's great. Honestly, I'm not mad about it. I might not relate to what she's posting. I might not necessarily like what she's posting, but that's really where it ends. There's not any rage there. There's not any ill will. There's just kind of, in my opinion, a hypocrisy, sure, but aside from that, I don't think any sane person should be losing sleep over this. That being said, I do think there are things we should analyze. So I think we've widely accepted the fact that we've kind of re-entered an era of the satanic panic. I think we all are on the same page about that, right? I don't know, I don't feel like we might have discussed this, but regardless, I think we've re-entered somewhat of an era of the satanic panic in the sense of there's a lot of shit that's being called satanic that simply is not satanic. I do think that there's a lot of imagery that includes the devil or Satan or whoever, whatever, but that to me doesn't immediately make things satanic. You know, it's kind of like if you have a 5-year-old who decides to dress up as the devil for Halloween, would you say that's satanic? I wouldn't. A lot of what Doja does to me is parallel to that 5-year-old dressing up for Halloween as the devil. It's not really satanic. It's not really filled with some kind of obscure meaning regarding the devil. It's more like she's choosing imagery that is specifically supposed to get a reaction out of people, and that, in my opinion, is also, frankly, like I've said before, I believe, contrived. It's forced, it's heavy-handed. None of it to me seems like genuinely she wanted to dress up as a devil because she wanted to. It always seemed like she wanted to dress up as thing X as a statement. Now, if you want to make everything you do a statement, that's fine. All of these statements to me seem heavy-handed. Heavy-handed in the sense of, okay, you're gonna dress up as a devil, right? She has her song Demons or whatever. Truly, I cannot listen to that song. It actually makes me nauseated to listen to. I don't know why. It makes me feel like I'm winding in a loop with my head upside down. No. So you're gonna get dressed up as a devil, cover yourself in blood, do whatever. So that's fine. Frankly, I typically like imagery that includes blood, so I should be a fan. But I find all of this just very, I don't know if I should just say cringe, maybe that's what it is, but it feels very much like the teenager who's trying to make a statement where there isn't a statement to be made. And someone who commented on a post of mine made a really great point. I don't want to post their name because I didn't clear this with them, but they did say that if she wants to shift drastically, as she said herself, her content before was fun and lighthearted, right? And fun and lighthearted doesn't mean that it doesn't have significance, mind you. But this commenter said, if you're gonna try and be profound, you have to have something to say. And something along those lines, I'm paraphrasing. And I think that that's a really great point here because I don't really know if she has something to say. And that's not saying that she's dumb, to be clear. It's just like, if you have something profound you want to say, you need to know what that is, why that is, where that's coming from, and also be specific as to what it is you're saying. You know, like you can't just say some random shit and hope for it to be profound, right? You need to know where you're coming from, why that is, your thought process, all of that. Like with what this commenter said, I really don't think that she knows what she's trying to say, or it's not coming through. A lot of the things she's posting, she's trying to put a message in it that's not there. It's kind of like when you either write a paper or even if you start an argument with someone and you don't know what your final point is gonna be, but you hope that you find it some way, like somewhere along the way. You know, kind of like where you start at point A and you don't know if you're ending at point C or D or E or F or if there's even the point. It very much feels like that, like someone who just started arguing and they don't even know where they're going, but they hope that they find it. That's very, very much how I feel about a lot of the things that Doja Cat has been posting. Now, a lot of them I think are reactionary or contrarian, more contrarian than reactionary probably, mainly because I do think that as much as she wants to, quote unquote, allegedly be understood, I also think she thrives on being misunderstood, because if you're misunderstood, then you can go off, you can say, I don't give a fuck about what you think. You can, you can have all of these reactions because you're so misunderstood. You're just like the artist that nobody gets, right? And I think a big part about this is also that the reason we like artists is that they're kooky and weird and funny, and we don't always understand where they're coming from. That's not always something that's easy to appreciate, because until they're doing things that we're either comfortable with or we feel we understand, it's like, oh, okay, haha, that's so-and-so being quirky, whatever. When it turns into something that is potentially disturbing to us, I know a lot of people are disturbed by the like quote unquote satanic, but just like devil cosplay imagery. I know a lot of people are disturbed by that, and her imagery in general is disturbing to me. Not because of like the devil or whatever, it's just like visually, it gives me a sense of unease. I am off-put, which is by no means the end of the world, but I definitely know that probably if I were more comfortable with the imagery she were putting out there, I'd be more likely to still want to listen to her or hear her out when she goes off on these fucking tirades. But because I'm already off-put a priori, I'm just like, I already wasn't feeling it. Now you're adding this stuff on top. I don't want it. To kind of really underline what I'm talking about here, one of her latest Instagram stories said, I named the song Balut, Ballot, I don't know, okay? Because it signifies a bird that's being eaten alive. It's a metaphor for Twitter stans and the death of Twitter toxicity, the beginning of X, and the end of tweets. Now, some people have fact-checked this, and apparently this song was already like registered or whatever before Twitter became X. So people are thinking that she's lying about that. Honestly, to me, that's neither here nor there. I'll take this at face value. Even if the song were about something else and she now decides that it's about this, honestly, I don't care, because this is what she's saying it's about. So kind of have to take her at face value, in my opinion. This is what I'm talking about when I talk about pseudo-intellectualism. Now, again, this is not to say that Doja Cat is dumb or cannot be intellectual. What I am saying, though, which is a difficult pill to swallow, people will come to you for what you're associated with or what you marketed yourself as initially. Let's say I start a social media account, okay? My entire account is focused on fashion and trends. If I decide one day that instead I want to focus on philosophy and quantum physics, it's gonna take a long time, if it even works. It's gonna take a long time for people to take me seriously as that. Is it because I'm dumb? No, but it's because I never showed that side of me. So why would people assume that that side of me exists, first of all? And second of all, when we're talking about more serious things, people also have to ascertain that to some degree you know what you're talking about, right? The same way that you wouldn't come to me, an English major, to tutor you in math. I have no fucking idea what we're talking about. It doesn't mean I'm dumb. I am dumb in math, but it doesn't mean I'm dumb. It's just that that's not what you would come to me for. It's the same thing, in my opinion, with Doja. A lot of her songs before I really enjoyed because I felt like they were fun, they were catchy, they had meaning, you know, obviously not the dissertation meanings that songs apparently have now, but they had meaning and it was just light. And that has a lot of value. And I think that that's also an issue that we have here, is that Doja herself has belittled her prior music and her prior hits, kind of flattening them out to like, oh, they were just hits, or like they were just chart toppers, as if that doesn't mean anything. And it's like, just because these songs weren't full-on dissertations about fucking metaphors of Twitter and birds being eaten alive or whatever, it doesn't mean that they didn't have value. And I think we all have examples of this across different medias, even with movies. Like, I have so many movies that are these silly ass rom-coms that I've been watching for over 2 decades. Ooh, aging myself there. For over 2 decades. And those movies mean so much to me, but they're not that deep, but they still mean so much to me. You know what I'm saying? So I think that here there's also this kind of overlapping of, oh, something's lighthearted and not super deep, so it doesn't mean it can mean things to people. And these songs very well could have been the reason that some people got through the day. These songs could have changed people's moods throughout the day. Like, these songs could have done so much, but she's belittled them to like, oh, they were just hits. They were just these silly songs. And I kind of wonder if that's why she's changing direction, because these songs in her own brain are so belittled to just like, ah, You know, like they were just fluff, basically. Which I think is really sad because I think all of us who enjoyed Doja before this esoteric era, a lot of us really enjoyed those songs and enjoyed her vibe, and it just, you know, it was all good. That's such a simplified way of putting it, but it was all good. Like I said, we're really here just focused on the over-intellectualism, and I feel like until she continues doing that, she's going to alienate people. She's going to alienate people because, first of all, people don't like being treated like they're dumb. Lately, that's how I've felt she's been treating a lot of people. I don't know if she does it on purpose or if it's just how she's coming across. Again, social media, what people post via text, it's so hard to read when you don't know the person, you don't know their tone, you don't know when they're joking, whatever. Benefit of the doubt, but I do think that she will continue alienating people and she will continue losing people until she just kind of does her thing in the sense of this new direction she's going in. I personally don't like it. I do not like the imagery. I find it, like I've said, heavy-handed and contrived, like dressing up like a devil, trying to be creepy. It all says very Halloween to me, but a Party City way as opposed to like, ooh, creepy. Because it feels like every time she does something, she has to tell you the things she's doing. So it's like someone dressing up in a creepy way. If it's creepy, you're gonna be able to tell it's creepy, right? You don't need them to come up to you and be like, hello, just so you know, this, like what I'm doing over here, this is supposed to be creepy. Did you know, this is creepy. We don't need to be doing all that. And I think that's what a lot of this comes down to, is that a lot of the art should speak for itself. Now, of course, there are explications you can add some layers, you can tell us about things we didn't know, sure. But there has to be a degree, a level that's legible to the public, you know, that the public can just see and interpret and be like, oh, okay, this is what's going on. But this continuous over-explaining of things, and that's also the other thing, is that when you shift directions so drastically, what will almost inevitably happen is you will lose part of your demographic. Now, I don't even know what demographic she's going for right now because I do not know a single goddamn person who's enjoying any of this. Even the stans that I know, or like big fans, I guess, they're not about this. Even people that I know that are in the occult spheres, people who identify as witches, people who identify as, let's say, outside of the typical norms, people who are pagan, people, all types of people, no one is on board with this. I have not found one person who is into whatever is going on right now, and I really do think that it is because of her attitude as opposed to the actual content. So I think that's also where there's some kind of miscommunication, because I think from the way that Doja has responded as far as we've seen publicly, she thinks that people don't like her stuff because of reason X, when the reality is it's not reason X. It's not because you're dressing up like a demon and all in red, or you're doing these heavy-handed Party City horror shit type things. It's not that. It's that you're treating us like morons all the time. It's really more that. Anyway, you guys can let me know what you think in the comments down below. I think this is kind of unfortunate because I think she's alienated a lot of people, and I don't know how many people are really going to be particularly open-minded to hearing her out again. That might sound a little bit dramatic, but I know that in my books, as of right now, I don't particularly like her. That doesn't mean that I hate her. I just think this attitude is annoying, mainly because I have to do with a lot of people who are pseudo-intellectuals on a daily basis, and it's really tiring. It's really tiring, and it's off-putting, and it's also, if she has some kind of knowledge that we, the general public, don't have. Like, there's plenty of knowledge she has that we don't have. Like, the reasoning behind plenty of songs, we don't know, right? So there are plenty of things she could tell us. But the thing is, if you tell someone being like, hey, fucking idiot, this is what's going on. How do you not know what's going on? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? As opposed to, hey, this song is about this, this, and this. What do you guys think? Stark difference. You're gonna get very different reactions. Now, once you go in one direction or the other, people will not be very open to forgiving that. But more than anything, a lot of people are just alienated just via the imagery being, in my opinion, disturbing. I find a lot of the imagery she has right now just like very anxiety inducing, to be honest. Not like I get full-blown anxiety from it, but it's just, I don't feel like watching this video about like some Party City devil. Like, it's off-putting, and I don't like how heavy-handed, no. Anyway, you guys can let me know what you think in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you to my patrons as always, and I'll catch you guys next time.